The New Orleans Business Alliance is hard at work trying to attract new companies to the Crescent City. New Orleans is celebrating British Airways' upcoming flights to London, and Marshall's is officially open in Mid-City. Louis David from the New Orleans Business Alliance is here to talk about what New Orleans is doing to attract new businesses. And having worked now in the real estate industry, we really do know that the loss of Hollywood South jobs is impacting our economy, and also the oil and gas slowdown and the layoffs and people transferring out of this area. It's impacted us in terms of home prices slowing down, sales slowing down, lower prices. We've also seen you know, there's more unemployment. So we really do need this. We need you guys, is what I'm trying to say.
That's good to hear.
But we do have some high points here that are happening with the British Airways is huge.
Yeah, that's a giant announcement for New Orleans. I think it's British Airways' first entry in the market since 1982. And back then we were just used as a fuel stop because the airplanes couldn't go as far. So nonstop service to London Heathrow, and I don't really say that's the big catch, although that's a huge deal. It's the fact that you can get one stop from New Orleans to all these places in Africa, the Middle East, India. You know, India, there's a lot of software work being done. Africa and the Middle East, lots of oil and gas. So a lot of the professionals in our area are able to really have one connection to the world. So we're real excited about that.
And we need those high-paying jobs, specifically because, you know, that's the problem is there's so many service industry jobs that just don't pay that much. So we need to be bringing those high-tech jobs here. Let's talk about Marshall's shopping. I know in the last 2 years, Mid-City has exploded. We've got several supermarkets and Whole Foods, and we've got the Winn-Dixie, and now we have the Marshalls over there, and the new, it's a Petco too as well, isn't there?
Petco. You know, retailers like to be near other successful retailers. And that Mid-City marketplace opened a few years ago with the Winn-Dixie. I mean, try to find a parking space in there,
you know,
on busy afternoons, and all the popular restaurants that are there. So Marshalls and CVS and Petco are now open across the street. That was an old Home Depot that was open right after the storm, just kind of as a quick, let's get things in town. So it's a whole new development. They geared it towards the Greenway and really put kind of the businesses that people in that neighborhood really were asking for. So it's Marshall's first store in Orleans Parish. They made a nice donation to some charities. They're going to employ 60 people. So those are really great jobs. You know, sometimes you're talking about high-paying jobs. We also need those retail jobs. Those are often the first steps into the job market for a lot of people in New Orleans. And when those jobs are in the middle of the city where people can get to them really easily, that's a big step in getting folks on that right pathway.
So what are you guys doing to bring in more jobs and more businesses like that?
So yeah, we have a team that's talking with retailers every day. And just to give you a little perspective, that British Airways flight took 4 years of lobbying to come together.
Wow.
So we have some relationships that we've been building up with companies and retailers over the past couple of years where we're starting to get to that point where we see some action. But you know, these are big companies, they see opportunities in other cities, so we have to be there constantly being kind of the cheerleader for...
Right, and trying to promote tax incentives and trying to promote business incentives for them to be here, which is tough when we have a difficult economy right now in the state of Louisiana.
Yeah, on the software side, we have very strong incentives from the state, and those have not changed.
Perfect.
So we're still having continuing discussions with software companies from across the country that say, hey, look, we can do business cheaper in New Orleans and San Francisco. People like to live there. It's a creative place, and we can get that incentive, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we do see a lot of San Francisco transplants. Louis David, thanks for coming in today.